Welcome to Morning Infusion with Dr. V, where we are intentional about connecting you with leaders that have overcome so that you know that the possibilities are endless. It's Dr. V here, where our coaching program teaches you to work from your computers around the world, making money and owning your own time. Our featured guest today is Shakita Whitaker. Shakita attended Elizabeth City State University, where she majored in biology pre-medicine with aspirations of becoming a pediatrician. She just didn't know that nursing was the bomb.com at the time. Shakita obtained her associate's in applied science of nursing degree from Halifax Community College in May of 2009. Shakita obtained her bachelor's of science in nursing degree from University of North Carolina, Wilmington with a 3.67 GPA. After completing 1 year of med-surg nursing, Shakita decided to go after her dream of becoming a nurse practitioner and applied to graduate school in March of 2018. Shakita attended Purdue Global University and completed the Family Nurse Practitioner Primary Care Program in March of 2020 with a 3.76 GPA. You better go, girl. Shakita recently passed her national board certification on April 30th, 2021. Shakita has received several awards to include Chancellor's List and Distinguished Graduate. Shakita holds memberships with the American Association of Nurse Practitioners and Delta Sigma Theta. Shakita is a mother of one son, Jalen Wheeler. So
Yes.
welcome, welcome,
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
So now, when you first started college, you wanted to become a pediatrician. What was the rationale for changing your trajectory?
Um, I got out of college and I started studying for the MCAT, and then I went into the workforce and I started working. I started teaching, so it kind of got a little harder because I was making money. You've been a new graduate and a 22-year-old person, you want money, and so yes, you do. And so I was making pretty decent money, and I also ended up getting pregnant with my son. So I knew the challenges of med school. I knew that it would be 4 years straight of medical school, and then after that you can have anywhere from a 4 to a 6 year intern, depends on where you was actually going to go to, what you want to specialize in. And I couldn't do that being a young mother of a very young small child, to be away from my child like that. So I made the decision to kind of put med school on hold, and I started doing life, being a single parent, working. And so that's what really changed my trajectory, was
Yeah,
life.
I can imagine med school
Yes,
can be, very taxing for sure, for sure.
yes, yes.
Now, you said that you were a victim of sexual assault and
Hmm.
robbery. Now, what were some of the emotions that you felt post the assault? So, this was when you lived in another city.
I
Um,
actually moved to Richmond, Virginia in 2002 to teach. And I always call that time as the day the earth stood still, because I felt like nothing moved. Everything was just at a pause in that moment when it was happening to me. And I felt overwhelming number of emotions. I was angry, I was upset, I was mad at myself because I felt that I was in a new area and I let my guard down. I wasn't being watchful and mindful of who was around me, and I felt so violated, and I just felt that I was just so unworthy in that moment as a woman, because a man thought it was okay for him to try to rob me and then to actually rape me at the same time. And to sit in the courtroom to see the person who did it to me with no remorse. I wanted to jump across where he was at and really just strangle the mess out of him, because it was myself and three other women, and you did that, and you sat back and you showed no remorse in what you did. But what kind of made me feel okay is after the court case is over and he was sentenced. A I was walking and a woman was saying, excuse me," behind me. My mind was in such a haze from all that had occurred over 3 days of being into the courtroom, that I really felt like I wasn't connected. So I finally snapped out of what I was in, and I looked back and I saw, "You talking to me?" And she said, "Yeah." She was a real well dressed woman, and she said, "I just want to tell you that I am extremely sorry for what my nephew put you through." And I looked, my eyes got big, was like, this woman got the audacity to come to me and apologize for her creepy horrible nephew. She said, I truly am. She said, we should have got him help long ago. I urged his mother when I saw the signs when he was younger, and she never did anything. And I feel like I'm partially responsible because I knew something was not right with him. And I'm so sorry you had to experience that. And she asked me because she hugged me. And the fact in that moment, tears was down my eyes. And I said, for this woman to come to me, it took a lot for her to do that and to admit that I know that my nephew was wrong. Something is wrong with him, and I'm so sorry. And I allowed her to hug me. That was the start, what I didn't know at the time, of my healing from that process. Because every time I would go through and start healing, my mind would take me back to that moment. And it would, each time it got a little better and a little better and a little better. Yeah.
That's very interesting because one of the things like when you see someone who has had some traumatic event, like when you
Mm-hmm.
see these people who have these family members who have been shot, for example,
Mm-hmm.
right? um, and the family member comes in, and they are forgiving, that
Mm-hmm.
changes the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that she probably helped you in that, starting to heal, starting to forgive,
She
because
did.
the sooner you forgive, the sooner you
Yes.
let it go. The unforgiveness is like eating the poison and expecting them to die, as TD Jake said. And that
Yes.
thing is powerful,
Yes.
right? Because
It
you're
is.
always thinking about it, and he
Mm-hmm.
obviously has no remorse for it, right?
Yes.
So just forgive him and keep him moving. And it's not that easy,
It's
but
not.
it is a thing that pushes us to that. It's like literally every day you got to forgive him, every single solitary day. So I'm
That's
so
right.
proud of you. I didn't even know
Thank
all
you.
that.
I didn't give him an escape about it, but my mind, as I went along, was thinking like, what happened to him as a young person to cause him to grow up in an adult to be this way? What was it when he was younger that happened and his aunt saw things in him? Maybe that his mother turned a blind eye to. Because as mothers, we don't like thinking things wrong with our kids. We want to think our kids are perfect and they're our babies. So my thing is, what happened to this young man when he was in elementary school, she said, in middle school, that caused him to become an adult and think that it was okay to violate a woman for whatever reason, you know? And so I looked at things differently. Now I still have my scars from it, and I could just say, oh, I forgive you. But I had a different perspective of that situation. The law did what the law did for him, and he deserved to get whatever punishment that the law allowed for the particular crime. But I had to look at it differently for my healing and for me to move forward, because I still had a small son that was looking to me that I had to raise. So I couldn't afford to give up or to break down or have a nervous breakdown. I could not do that because my life and his life depended on me actually trying to be well and to make it and to move forward.
And having the empathy for him in that manner is really, really hard. It's
Yeah,
hard, but
it
it
is.
is life changing,
It
right?
is.
It is life
It
changing.
is. It is.
So now, what is some advice that you would give someone who is going through such a heinous act?
One, I will, therapy. You have to go to counseling. So much in our community, we think counseling is so taboo,
Mhm.
but therapy really helps because sometimes family, whether your siblings or your mother, they have also, they're going through that trauma as well. They may not have experienced the act, but you are so close to them. And so when they see you traumatized, it's a form of trauma for them. And a lot of times they do their best to give you advice and they try to help, but sometimes they really don't know. And so you may not feel like you getting all you need from your family and they can't give it to you. So to have someone on the outside of your family, to have someone that knows nothing about you, that can have like a neutral position to help you identify those feelings that could be detrimental to you, I think therapy is very, very good. I went to therapy. Therapy is great. I recommend it for anyone. Whether it was me going to therapy for the sexual assault and other things came out of therapy as well. So it actually gave me another outlook of how to think, not thinking one dimensional, but therapy helped me to think three dimensional because we think in our own box. And so go to therapy. I mean, it's okay to be angry. Let yourself grieve of what happened to you because You were violated. I was violated. So I had to go through those moments of grief. I lost something when he did that to me. I can never get that back. I lost something because he attacked me and did things to me that I never thought should be done to me by a stranger. I had to go through the whole process of getting, HIV tested, for a certain amount of time. And thank God everything came out negative. But just that fear of going along thinking like, oh my God, there was a point in time that I wouldn't even kiss my own son. I was afraid. I'm like, I
Mm.
need to get some more tests before I was so extra careful and cautious because I didn't know what this man had. And they tested him and he was actually negative as well. But still, to go through that, it was a lot. So counseling is actually very good. And I started during that time. I redefined or rededicated myself to Jesus Christ. I was always raised into the church, but I got to a point that I kind of drifted away from the church. And it was tugging at me, and that was the thing to put me back to, okay, I got to get back into the church. I've been here for X amount of months, have not stepped one foot in the church, and it's not like me. And so all that came into play. So I said, counseling, make sure you have a relationship with God and have a great support system that will actually help you through that whole entire time of your healing.
I love it. I love it.
Hmm.
I've been through counseling as well, and it is such a taboo thing in
Hmm.
the African American community. But I think that we're striving, or we're moving away from it not being as taboo as what it used to be,
Yes.
thankfully. And
Yes.
we will definitely get to that healing point.
Yep.
So now you failed your next to the last semester by 1 point. This is a nursing school, correct?
Yes.
Now, what were some of your thoughts? Did you feel like giving up, or were you determined to go back?
When I found out that, I was like, oh my gosh, I was so angry because my mindset at first was, so they couldn't give me that 1 point. That's what my mindset was like, really? So I didn't do enough to earn 1 point from somebody somewhere that I had to come back. No, really. And I was like,
Like,
I was upset with them at first. That was my mind. That was my initial mindset. And then the Lord was like, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. I need to bring you back. And so I was upset with myself because a lot of things was going on personally and family wise. And I allowed that to infiltrate me and it took me off my focus. And so I cried when I found out about it. And my son came to me and wiped my eyes and say mom was wrong. And so I had to explain to my son about failure, his first lesson about failing at something. And I had to talk with him. He was about 8 at the time. And I called my pastor for advice. I said, God, this is because everyone knew I was in nursing school. The church knew. So I'm like, I'm going to be so embarrassed because everybody going to know. And so I called my pastor for advice. And he said it's okay to cry. And he gave me some great advice. And he called to check up on me on the next day. And I was still crying. He said, okay, this is day 2. I'm going to tell you like they said in the Bible, in the book of Ruth, I need you to go and wash your face. I
and
need
get
you to
up.
get up and make a plan. I need you to come up with a plan about what you're going to do to finish what you started. I got up. I washed my face. I had a new perspective. I got on the phone. I called the school to say, hey, what is it I need to do? Because I want to move forward for the next term because I'm going to finish this nursing degree. And that's what kind of, and my son looked at me. He was looking at me during the time. And I want to show him it's okay to fail, but it's not okay to wallow in it and not do anything about it. You have to complete what you started. Be a finisher is what I wanted to learn. And it's a lesson I learned. I'm going to be a finisher.
And one of the, I love that because that's one of the things that I talked about last night is being a finisher and making sure, because I was an LPN, I was an LPN for 10 years, thought I was
Mm-hmm.
just not smart, right? And
Mm.
then I went to work and I learned what type of learner I was. I was a kinesthetic learner. Like I
Yes.
had to learn by doing. And
Yep.
then once I went back to, I got my RN degree. And then from my RN to my BSN to my master's to my DNP. But the reality is that I didn't stop, right?
Yep.
And see, and that is the thing. And what you said was, what your pastor said is very valuable, okay? It's good to cry for today. I'm going to give you one day. And
Mhm.
then after this one day, then
Yep.
I'm gonna need for you to get up and I'm
Mhm.
gonna need for you to move forward. And
Yes.
we learn so much more from our failures than we do from our successes.
Yes, we do.
And I remember talking to one of my friends yesterday, and I told her, I said, she's going through a lot right now. And I said, and I just smiled at her. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm just, and this is what my husband does for me. He
Uh-huh.
helps me so good in this manner. He
Okay.
says, you're going through a lot right now. He said,
Mhm.
I just can't wait to see that blessing that is on the other side of that adversity.
Wow.
I mean, and I'm just like, okay, all right. I mean, and it's hope, right? It helps you
Yes.
get through, right? It
Yes.
helps you get through.
It does. It does.
So now you said that you had a nursing instructor that said that nursing was not for you. How did it make you feel?
Mhm.
What were some of the actions after you were told this?
Well, when she told me that to my face, I was kind of thrown aback. I was like, this woman had the audacity to tell me that. She said, you're smart, but you're not intelligent. And nurse this she say, and nursing I don't think is for you. You might want to go back and consider teaching. So I looked like I said, okay. I mean, what you going to say to a nursing instructor? You're trying to make it through the program. You don't want to get anybody upset, and I left out of the initial evaluation and I walked to my car in a haze and tears came down my eyes and I called my mother. I was like, Mom, do you know what just happened to me? And she's like, Really? She's like, Well, baby, where you at? I said, I'm sitting in my car because we're on a break. And she told me to calm down. I said, okay. And I got off the phone with my mom and I was so angry with this woman because I'm like, the gall of you to look at me to
Audacity.
say that, well, I'm going to say, as Louis Farrakhan said, you had the testicular fortitude to tell me,
I love it. I don't think
to
I've ever
tell
heard that
me,
before.
he said it, to tell me that I'm not going to make it and you don't even know me. We haven't even started. And so I called my mom, I called my sisters, and my pastor was such a motivator for me at the time. He was a new pastor to my church at the time, and I was able to send him a message. I said, if you get a moment within the next 10, 15 minutes, could you please give me a call? Something happened to me in my nursing program, and I need some quick advice. So he finally called. He said, I don't have long. I'm taking a quick break. So what happened? And I told him what happened, and he was kind of sad and was like, really? What? Really? And so he was like, calm down. He did a prayer with me on the phone. He said, I want you to go back in there and I want you to show that woman that what she said was wrong. Because obviously she does not know that the Lord is with you and you got God on your side. And obviously she's not someone of God, because if she was, she would recognize exactly what is in you. And so I said, okay, thank you so much. I said, I'm gonna let you go. So I sat in the car, cried some more, crying out of anger this time because I really want to go and tear her piece of my mind. But I know I can't do that because she insulted me and she looked at me like she was right in what she did. And so when I did not finish school by one point, what was playing in my mind was what she said to me when it first started. And
Mm.
I was like, was this woman really right about me? Because that's how I was in that pity mode. I was in my pity party. It was like, she said it about me. And here I am. I didn't finish. And I bet you she's somewhere laughing at me. That was in my mind. And so I decided to come back. I had to swallow my pride because I knew I would see her again face to face. And she had this smirk look on her face. It's like, I told you. But let me tell you something. When I went through that program the second time, I was a force to be reckoned with. Do you understand me? I was fierce and I did everything 100%. I went in clinicals and bloated away. And when I was at the point to graduate, and when I had my nursing instructors to say to me, if I ever get sick in the hospital, I want you to be the one to take care of me. She came to me on the day of graduation. We was standing back, taking pictures, giving the lineup. And she came and she said, I want to apologize to you for what I said to you. I was wrong. You will be an awesome nurse. And I want to say, yeah, I am. Yes. But I said, thank you. I told her thank you. And I walked away and I was like, the feeling I felt that she had to come back to me to eat crow because the people who she thought would actually make it through Did they not only not pass the first time, they did not pass the second time.
Wow.
So I'm like, so the people that you thought that would be awesome or better than me are the people who has actually failed your thought process. And I showed you that I am a winner and I have winning habits and I am a finisher. That's what I wanted to show you. And regardless of what you think about me, I'm going to take this nursing thing and I'm going to do it.
But you know what? I think it's so valuable. Like in your actions, what you did and what you said was, I really don't care what you feel about me.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is valuable. And people
Yes.
don't necessarily understand that other people's opinion of you doesn't matter. It's
That's
your
right.
opinion of you that matters the most.
That's
As long
right.
as you think that you're going to win, you're going to win. Okay.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
just a matter. You may fall back, or you may step back a little bit. Okay. Because you step back a little bit. But as long as you were able to roll forward, then you were
Hmm.
good. So
Yes.
that
Yes,
is
ma'am.
so good to me.
Yes, Dr. V.
So now you said that you shot your shot at a doctor's office. Now,
Hmm.
usually this is a dating statement,
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
What was the thing that you did to shoot your shot?
Well, I went on a interview spree with Vidant Hospital, and I had interviews at different departments. And what was shocking to me is I had two at the hospital, and I had two at their clinic across the street in two different departments. And I had no idea that I was going to get offered every job that I went to on the spot the day that I interviewed.
Wow.
All four jobs I got offered to. And people were saying, is this the young lady that got every job when I chose where I'm going to work at Inviting? This is what you are talking about? That we wanted on this floor that went to all these places, got a job. And so I did. I went in there and I shot my shot and I didn't think that they would hire me. And the reason why I did not take that job was not because it was not a nice place to work. Everyone was great in the interview. It was awesome and very friendly. It was a welcoming atmosphere. But my reason was financial reasons. Working at the doctor's office would have me to take a $20,000 pay cut from what I was making in acute care because their pay is just not on the level it is if you work in a hospital. I had a small child. I was a single parent. I had things I wanted to do. So that was the only reason that I did not take that job. It would have been a great learning experience to go and be in that multi-specialty clinic and be in their office, but I couldn't do that. Financially, it was not realistic for me to take that job. So I went over across the street and there was two departments. It was med surgery, which I love, and it was just the medical aspect. And I had to pick and choose. Am I going to the third floor or am I going to fourth floor? And I did not know because everybody was just awesome. That's an awesome family over there in Tarboro. They are so nice in every aspect. And so it wasn't until I went home that night and I had to make my decision. I had about 24 hours left and I had a dream that I was working in the hospital. But in my dream, it did not reveal to me which floor I was working on. I was helping out in my dream with a code. A patient had coded and we all together helping to code. It wasn't to the end of my dream that the manager came to me and say, do y'all need help cleaning the room? And the manager face was the manager on fourth floor. So I felt that was my answer saying fourth floor is where you belong. And fourth floor was just awesome. That I knew there was the right choice. That family was very good up there. And we meshed along together great. So I made the decision to go there and I loved them when I was there. They were awesome.
I
They were
love
awesome.
it. I love it. I
Yes.
love it. My husband
Yes.
says you can't ever count God's people out
You
for
can't ever do
sure.
that. That's right. That's
Now,
right.
you were in management at a nursing home. So, what are some of
Mhm.
the things that you would recommend for someone that's thinking about going into management for a long term care facility?
Long-term care is very challenging. It's different from acute care. Acute care, we have everything at our fingertips. We are electronic. We have big supply closets. We don't really run out of supplies. When I went from acute care to long-term care and I saw that you have to search for everything, almost beg for things. That was new to me because I'm like, I can't do my job effectively if I don't have the supplies that I need. I need to come into work and have what I need when I start, not come in and keep going in and out of the room or keep asking for this or waiting for this or trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. Basically, I don't need to keep trying to do that. So management was hard because it was my first time being in a management position. You have different personalities, you have different attitudes, things you have to deal with. So there was a lot of things that I did wrong, and there were some things I did right, and it was all learning for me. I learned more from what I did wrong than from the things that I did right. And so what I would say is that long-term care has its own culture, its own work culture. It is for the survival of the fittest. Only the strong survives long-term care. And if you're not a strong person, do not go to long-term care. I would suggest that you go to the hospital, get you a year of med such experience, get some tough skin. And if you then when you want to go back, you can. So I would advise them first to really be aware or honest about your weaknesses. Say what you know, say what you don't know. And then what you don't know, you need to work on those things so you can know and make it all mesh together. Number two, don't go in so quickly trying to make a lot of changes. It's okay to make changes, but you have to first learn the people. Learn the people, learn the flow of long term care, and then make changes step by step by step. If something is working, we keep it. If it's not working, throw it out and make something that does work. The next thing I would say is that be patient with yourself. You and your learning curve. It's okay if you make a mistake. Don't come down on yourself, but it's all right. The next thing I would say is that to make sure you maintain a professional relationship, don't not that I did this, but I've seen it happen. Do not be in a management position and try to be friends with the people that you actually supervise. It is not going to work because the moment something that does not go their way, they're going to try to, create issues in the workplace. And don't try to be the one to change work culture by yourself. You cannot do it. It is a team effort. You have to make sure that you have everybody on board as your team and you have buy-in. Before you do anything at the long-term care system, make sure you have buy-in, not just from the people that you supervise, but from the people above you. Because if you have buy-in from them with your vision and goals of what you want to do, how you want to turn things around, you will not meet a lot of resistance. But if everybody's not on and they're not buying in, then you will have issues. And if it's not working for you, if it's not working and you gave it your 100% and it's not for you, it's okay to walk away and
That's
go
right.
to what does work for you. Do not stay there. Go to where you will be productive at and where it does work for you and where you will have total buy-in. That is my only advice I can give.
And that's the one thing I think that a lot of people are very critical of millennials for this. They're very
Hmm.
critical of the fact that they will not stay in a place that does not serve them well.
No,
Will
they will
not,
not.
you
Mm-mm.
know.
Mm-mm.
And we are, we're used to just kind of staying there and chilling.
Yes.
We
Hmm.
just go in and we stay there, forever. And really, ain't nobody got time for that.
No, we learned later on in life. Listen, this is why we're burnt out because we're taking this,
Exactly.
and we could have went other places because we're nerds. You are really marketable in all types of atmospheres, and so we was like, why are we taking this? And we came be burnt out, not so much because of our patients or because of the job duties, because of other stuff that was there that burnt us out. Because we loved our patients, we love what we did, we love what we do, and I'm like, but the burnout is not coming from my residents. Y'all giving me the burnout. I can't do that. You all give me this culture and that's where my burnout is coming from. I can't come to work every day and be 100% with my residents and supervise my people and you all burning me out. You just chipping at me with an ice pick every day. You chipping at something away from me. I can't function like that. It's unhealthy. So I learned then that unhealthy environments, you're going to always have issues in the workplace. Every workplace has its own culture. I'm not here to deny that or to try to change every work culture. What I am saying is that you have to be able to go in there and see what you can infiltrate while you're there. And if you can't and you've done your best and and you can walk away with that saying, you know what? I did my best. I gave it 100%, but this is not working for me on a mental aspect. Then you go to another place where the atmosphere is a little better. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love
Mhm.
it. So thank you. Thank you for
Thank you.
being here today. You have just got such a wealth of knowledge, just
Thank
such a
you.
wealth of knowledge. And I'm so excited to, that we're now connected so
Yes.
that we can feed off of each other because,
Yes, ma'am.
ET was just talking about the sum total of the people that you hang out with the most.
Yes.
My friend Renee says if you hang out with nine broke folks, you're gonna be the 10th one. Okay.
Yeah. I like that. I like
Ain't nobody got
that.
time for that,
Yes.
right? We are trying to make some money around
Yes,
here,
we are.
okay? So now we have a 4-day business challenge. It will start on June 8th,
Okay.
2021. It's free, and we will be teaching business mindset, strategies to attract your ideal client, speaking as another stream of income, and the power of social media. And you can go to vpnursing.com to
Okay.
sign up. So I encourage everyone else to sign up. So this again is Dr. V. We are here. We teach you how to work from your computers anywhere around the world, making money and owning your own time. You guys have a phenomenal rest of your day.
Thank you.